Hello students, today we are going to learn the second chapter in political science, that is Indian foreign policy. It is second unit, Indian foreign policy we are going to learn. So in this chapter you are going to learn all these key points. Just go through India's strength, aims of foreign policy of India, Panchashila principles introduced by Jawaharlal Nehru, non-alignment policy. Because of the Second World War time, there is a two blocks which insisted India to join either of the bloc, but India followed the non-alignment. This also introduced by Jawaharlal Nehru. Then next part is apartheid, that is racial discrimination all over the world. So that part we are going to learn, and how the Britishers ill-treated. Last part is disarmament, how to reduce the armed power for the sake of security, not for the destruction of any other country. And finally, India is a peace-loving country, and we are going to learn about how we are maintaining from the 1947 to till now, and stood first position in peace-loving country. So let us move on to each and every point with detailed information. Okay. So, Indian foreign policy. What is Indian foreign policy? The policy adapted by a nation while dealing with other nations is called foreign policy. It's a one-mark question. The policy adapted by a nation while dealing with other nations is called foreign policy. Second one, it is known as, our country is known as sovereign country. We are not under the clutches of any other country. So it is also as well as one mark question. The sovereign country is one which is not under any other country's control, either for internal or external issues. It is known as a sovereign country. You have learnt in 9th standard, same point. One mark question can be asked. So what are the strength of our nation? Yes, our country is highly populated, huge population. It stood second position in the population too. So that is the greatest strength for our country. Second one is a strong military force. You have observed the military force during the 19 and 22 till now. Also the Chinese are entering to our border, and how Narendra Modi is controlling them. And even in the surgical strike, you can observe the military force of our country. It's a very strong military force which we are having. And abundant natural resources. Yes, we are having abundant natural resources like mineral as well as the other resources too, like water, natural resources also. The next one is intellectual and used capacities. We are having intellectual capacities. We are observing many scientists and very great personalities who are rendering service for our country and started establishing their own companies to give many opportunities to many members as to overcome with the unemployment and other things too. So intellectual and used capacities, we are having a wonderful strength of the intellectual. So next one is, what is the aim of foreign policy of India? See, each and every family will be having their own family bondage with brothers, sisters and siblings are the family members. And we all will be cordial with everyone, though we are not having a comfortability with one or two. But even though we won't dispart, and we will be having a bondage with our family members. So each and every one is interdependent. So we need to be very friendly with each and every one in the family relationship. So likewise, our country also must maintain the wonderful relation with other country. So for that sake, we framed certain policies, certain points, that is the aims of the foreign policy of India. What is that? First one is national security.
we are having a wonderful security by nature itself, 3 dimensions: water, one area desert, another area is completely covered with snow. So it is very difficult to enter our country. But even though many of them entered our country, looted a lot, that you learned in the 9th standard part. Apart that, our country is having a great aim of national security. It is securing the country with a major maximum army support, enriching national economy. So it is enriching the national economy. Our economy is not coming down, it is maintaining the same. During the COVID period also, due to lockdown, of course our economy came down, but even though we are sustaining our economy and achieving world peace and coexisting. Yes, we all are social animals, we have to coexist with each and everyone. So, achieving world peace and coexisting, Gandhiji's mantra or Gandhiji's quotation always used to say that peace, that is Shanti. So, he offered everyone to be maintained the same. So, world peace is the main aim and it stood first position also. Till now, it is standing first position in maintenance of world peace and coexisting. We are leading our life comfortably. Likewise, others also can lead the life in the same manner. For that sake, this is one more aim, important aim which we are having, achieving world peace and coexisting. Spreading the Indian culture richness in abroad. So, it's spreading the Indian culture. Culture means we are having a wonderful culture of our own. That is, either it may be festivals, celebration of festivals, or dress code, or traditional practices, all includes in our culture. So this culture was liked by many of the world countries who are also following the same. For example, our sari dress code is used in beauty pageant. Every world participant, any country lady who participates in the beauty pageant has to wear the sari. That is, one dress attire was introduced in the beauty pageant. This itself shows the Indian culture richness in the abroad. Next is increasing the number of friendly nations. So we are having a wonderful friendly nations. Neighboring countries you learnt in geography first lesson. What are they? That is China, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and the Bhutan, Nepal and Bangladesh. All these nations are neighboring nations. All nations are interdependent and we are having a wonderful friendly nations. So this question can be asked for 2 mark question. What are the aims of our India's foreign policy? So on that time you have to write all these points. Children, it is easy for you to remember. Within bracket I have given NEASI. You can make it your own funny word and you can remember these 5 points and you can easily write all the points comfortably to grab 2 marks. Jawaharlal Nehru explained the foreign policy of India in his speech on 7th September 1946. It's given as an MCQ question when Jawaharlal Nehru explained the foreign policy of India in his speech on 7th September 1946. Foreign policy of India is also called foreign policy of Nehru because he is the first person who introduced the foreign policy. That's why it is known as foreign policy of India. One more question can be asked like this. Who was the architect for our India's foreign policy? For that also Jawaharlal Nehru was the answer. Jawaharlal Nehru is considered as the architect of the India's foreign policy. What are the factors that influence foreign policy of India? That is, again you can remember all these points in easy manner. First one is national interest. Second one is political situation. Third one is geographical interest. Fourth one international situation. Fifth one economic interest. Sixth one is military issues and public opinion. These all are the points you have to remember. National interest, political situation, geographical interest, international situation, economic interest, military issues, public opinion. These all are the factors which influence the foreign policy of India. Now, let us move on to the principles of India's foreign policy. What are the basic principles of India's foreign policy? Panchashila principles, non-alignment movement, anti-imperialism, anti-apartheid policy, and disarmament. These all are the 5 principles of India's foreign policy. This also you can make it your own way of identifying. That is PNAAD. You can make it, or else that is up to your wish. Whatever funny word you can make it, and remember these 5 points. These all are the basic principles of India's foreign policy. First one is Panchashila principles. This you can remember, PNM whole square. What it is? First one is peaceful coexistence, that I already told. Yes, we are peace-loving country and we are interdependent with each and every nation. So it is given the first priority to peaceful coexistence. Second one is mutual cooperation and coexistence. We are leading our life in a comfortable manner. Likewise, the other countries also must maintain the same. For that sake, we must have an understanding between the countries. Mutual cooperation is essential. Mutual cooperation. Without the mutual cooperation, we cannot do any of our progress. So that mutual cooperation and coexistence is the second principle. Third one is non-aggression. For any cause of our country matters, no other country can interfere in our country's problems and all. So it may not show towards any other country aggression. So we won't show the aggression, they must not show the aggression. That is the third point, non-aggression. Non-interference in each other's internal issues like state disputes or any other disputes in our country. They must not involve, and we won't involve in any other country's internal matters. And last one is mutual respect for sovereignty and regional interest. Mutual respect. Yes, mutual respect is very much essential. Each and every nation will be different. All nations will be having their own sovereignty. That to be respected by each and every nation. That is main intention of our country. And regional interest. Our region we are giving importance, and they also must give their own region's importance, and we also must respect their regional interest and all. Now we are having this Panchashila agreement first with China. So why? Because it's a neighboring country. First we introduced this with China, and it was followed to all other neighboring nations and worldwide all the nations too. Second one is non-alignment policy. Non-alignment policy is nothing but we want everyone and we don't want to interfere in any other's matter. We want everyone. We want to be friendly with everyone, and we don't want to dispute with anybody. So that is the main intention of our nation. So after the Second World War, the entire world was divided into 2 blocks. What are they? First one is USA, democratic bloc, and second one is Soviet Russia's, that is communist bloc. Later on in the next lesson, you are going to learn about what is Cold War. In that lesson, you are going to know about what it is blocs means. See, USA, under the USA, what all the countries are following democratic lifestyle or democratic administration, that countries has to follow USA. Soviet Russia followed communist, and other countries who are following the communist administration, they followed Russia. So these 2 major group of countries made the conflict between each other that caused the Cold War II. And later on it was sustained, and presently we are not facing this problem at all. And during that time, India was insisted to join either with these 2 blocks, either for democracy, a democratic country, or communist country. But India don't want to interfere in the Second World War, because we are peace-loving country and we are hate the war. So that India and Jawaharlal Nehru told that we are not ready to participate in the Second World War and turned India into non-allied. The very first country which shown the importance of non-allied. We are not going to join either with democratic country or Soviet Russia, that is communist country, and it made a wonderful friendly nature with both the nations and sustained itself as a non-allied till now. Next one is apartheid. It is nothing but racial discrimination. Yes, many countries you might have seen the policy of racial discrimination is called apartheid, especially in the Africa, America, and even in the Asian countries we are observing the racial discrimination. They are discriminating between the white and black. So it was started in the slavery in America. Later on it spread all over the countries. And many people who struggled for this apartheid, they are, first one is Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King Jr. and the Nelson Mandela. In India, Gandhiji. All these people struggled for the apartheid. Apartheid is inhuman and against human rights. Hence, it affects the world peace and peaceful coexistence. So, the people of the entire America or Africa or Asian countries, especially the blacks, may not be given voting rights, and even women are not given the voting rights. Of course, women is not required here. That is black and white. Color complexion only made these two distributions, and that is inhuman practice. Human rights was declared in 1948, 10th December. After that, it was completely vanished. No country of the world shall practice this apartheid. Presently, here human rights declared that no country must follow this apartheid practice. It was started boycotting all over the world, and Abraham Lincoln abolished this apartheid in USA. Martin Luther King Jr., who fought for the cause of apartheid, and Nelson Mandela, who struggled a lot for the Africa to liberate. And finally, that is disarmament. Of course, each bloc, that is the Russian bloc and the American blocs, started piling up of more and more armed power. This caused the distress among the people that any time the Third World War may occur. So for that sake, the UNO declared to have one agreement between the nations. After that, that is, are completely reduced, piling up of more and more. Of course, they are piling up, but it is used only for the cause of security, not for the cause of destruction. What is disarmament? Not keeping more and more armed power for the cause of destruction. The process of eliminate of specific arms step by step is called disarmament. This is also a 1 mark question. The total disarmament is possible as every country needs arms for its protection. India, disarmament. India is already practicing this disarmament. There is a increased competition for the production, sale and collecting of arms in the world. Many of the countries are carried that this massive scale of arms could lead to the Third World War. Just now I told this lead to the Third World War. That was the fear among the people, and countries with massive arms may attack another country internationally or by mistake, triggering massive devastation. The presence of nuclear arms makes the issue more complicated. India, being a peace-loving country, advocates for the reduction of the quality as well as quantitatively. So Article 51 of India Constitution advocates for establishing international peace and cooperation. This will be asked as one mark question. Article 51, what it states? It states Indian Constitution that advocates for establishing international peace and cooperation. So this is the last part of the chapter, and India shows no war, no ammunition, more and more. And India stands first position in maintenance of international peace-loving country, and it stood first position. Thank you.